she walk, then bounce when she walk, bounce when she walk, clap when she walk, clap when she.
Nigga, what?
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. Today I'm going to be talking about why most women would not be able to get the guy that they want, and why most guys are missing out on an opportunity to have as many women as they want. One thing that you have to understand is we live in a society where everyone has been convinced that being single is the best way to go. But studies are showing that the more single you are.
It's thing called maladaptive social cognition. It's a weird term for when you become lonely and isolated. You become hypercritical to any social cues that could be perceived as negative. And so if you go out and you have like a negative experience, you'll be like, it may not be that big of a deal, but you're gonna feel like it's a really big deal because your body is sensitized to, I don't know if I feel good about this, you know, like your body becomes weirdly, loneliness and perceived social isolation comes with the wrong perceptions of reality. It super sucks, but you have to accept that your brain is misinterpreting signals.
And studies are showing that the more you interact with family and friends and actually have an active lifestyle, the longer you live.
Introvert loses energy from social interaction, and extrovert gains energy from social interaction. So an introvert wakes up in the morning with 5 coins. Every social interaction they spend a coin, at the end they are depleted. An extrovert wakes up with no coins. Every social interaction they get a coin, and by the end they feel rich. Like going to a party gives them energy versus going to a party sucks your energy.
Let's first jump into the women. Why will women not be able to get a man?
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
Women, you have to understand, you have become the most delusional species on the planet. Your delusion is through the roof.
Okay, so you think you're a 10?
Yeah. I think I'm gorgeous. I think I'm perfect.
Listen, don't take this the wrong way. You're not a 10.
Lay it on.
What is your type? Like, what do you like physically?
Rich.
I said physically, not monetarily.
6'1", light skin.
Why is that? The reason is because you've came to the matrix, which we call the online social media world, and you've allowed the creepy, lonely, sad, depressed men to gas you. Guys to give you likes and comments every day on social media in order for you to feel better about yourself, that when you don't get the likes and you don't get the compliments, then you start to feel depressed.
Walk, keep on walking straight to the hell we made. Why always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer?
Especially when you have to take layers of clothes off in order to meet their needs.
Okay, I'm not gonna strip.
Boom, there you go. You have the birth of OnlyFans careers. Now that we live in a world where OnlyFans is considered a job to women.
Just getting ready for a shoot, but I quickly wanted to talk about this. OF is definitely a job. It doesn't matter if you disagree with it or whatever, it's still a job.
The women are not understanding that that job is not something that a man is looking at as being a legitimate job for his wife.
Two types of women most men want to marry. The woman who doesn't give in that easily. She will not sleep with him on a first date, and she sets her standards and boundaries early on. A man recognizes this type of woman from the moment she opens her mouth.
If you're portraying any type of image of a OnlyFans model, a man is going to place you in that category. But women have to rely on these type of creepy dudes in order for them to sustain the ego that they're getting on social media.
I'm a boss chick, quick link, no long ting. I ain't trying to cuff, I don't want no ring.
Where does that transition into the guy that she wants? When she finally gets around to the guy that she wants, what she's not realizing is that she still has on her work uniform. They're actually making clothes, yoga pants. They got these bras, these t-shirts that actually make a woman look more provocative. So the guys give them compliment and make them feel better about themselves. So when they come across the guy that they like, they're not realizing like you're still dressed for the creepy guy. So when the real man see you, he says,
I know this sounds awful, but I'm going through a selfish phase right now.
It's an automatic turn off to him.
I just put up an important post where I said, men don't like BBLs. Men are just sexually attracted to naked women. And women with BBLs just tend to be the most naked.
Especially with this new thing that's coming out where these girls are getting this duck lip, Botox duck lip for $150.
Ducky lips is a trend or a result of inappropriately placed filler.
I know out here, I'm in Pittsburgh, I've seen it in Miami, I've seen it in Memphis, I've seen it especially in LA, where women are paying $150 in order for them to get some duck lips, but it only impresses the creepy men that are online.
Would you like me to send you a quick pic of this opportunity?
She seems nice.
Now, when these type of women see the guy that they like and you still have on your OnlyFans uniform, you feel rejected when the man don't want you.
It's not if you get hurt, it's when and how bad.
You go back to the creepy men online in order to get your confidence back.
The hoes gon' love this.
You stop and look at the best guys in the world. They always have a normal woman. Why? Because that normal woman brings peace into a man's life.
Men like it when we know what we gonna wake up to in the morning.
It allows that man to elevate as a man. When you're dealing with these women who are walking around with OnlyFans uniforms on, you're actually making the man you're with more insecure, because he feels like even if you're in a relationship with him, that you're still trying to attract other guys. In other words, you're practicing hypergamy every single day that you wake up when you're dealing with a real man. This is why at the beginning, real men are already turned off by the girls who are wearing the less amount of clothes. Now, granted, real men just don't say, oh, she's wearing a less amount of clothes, so I'm gonna avoid her. It don't work that way. A real man will still go to the strip club. A real man will still go to a brothel, because men are still gonna be men. I'm talking about the type of men that have the value as a man, that has the standard as a man, the man that can provide, and the man that can really hold his own and be a man. That man still loves to have a good time, but he doesn't want to marry a good time woman. And we're dealing with women who have placed themselves as a good time woman with a OnlyFans uniform on. See, women fell for the bait. They fell for the bait that says, you know what? Being single is the best thing in the world. Being liberated is the best thing in the world. Girl, you'll be happy being liberated. You'll be happy outworking yourself, outworking a man, and then you'll live on top of the world. But the more money a woman makes, the less friends she has, the more lonelier she is, the more she tries to figure out which one of these creepy guys are not that creepy and maybe I can establish a relationship, the more depressed she becomes. So women can't get a man due to the simple fact that in order for you to get a man, it may cause you to be more depressed, because that man is not going to give you the same dopamine releases as the creepy men online that you're used to whenever you take your clothes off. Now, when it comes to the men out here, you have the opportunity now to have a lot of women if you want to, but men don't see the light. And the reason why men don't see the light is because men think that they are inside of some matrix brotherhood where it's men versus women. Are women out there bad? Yes. Have women became less motherly? Yes. Have they became less traditional? Yes. But guess what? Times have changed, and men have always liked trashy women. They've always liked easy women. The only difference is a lot of these guys out here, you can't distinguish the difference between a bad girl and a good girl. The OnlyFans models, you're looking at them like they're wifey material, and you're mad that they're showcasing themselves to other guys. The same thing that the confident man walks away from, the insecure man walks towards it and complains about it. That's the difference. Instead of complaining about an OnlyFans model, enjoy what she is for that moment. Instead of complaining about a non-traditional woman, accept the fact that you have to spit less game to get the woman. That's what men are not realizing. Like, if you want to go from pleasing yourself to actually being with a real woman, you can do that now without marrying a woman, without being in a relationship. But a lot of guys are complaining as if society is forcing you to be with an OnlyFans model. Oh, they're forcing you to be with a non-traditional woman. They're forcing you to go be with a stripper. No, society isn't forcing you to be with none of these women. Society is actually allowing people like me and hundreds of others to create the content that's going to warn you to the type of woman that you're dealing with. So if you learn to look at all these bad women as just toys for you, then you'll be able to deal with them a lot easier until you get around to the woman that you really want to be with. Let me explain to you why. A woman will accept a man who has multiple women and who have been with a lot of women versus a man accepting a woman who's been with a lot of men. Why is that? Because the more a woman sleeps around with different men, the more she's given herself to those men, and she has a piece of the man with her. So the more men she sleep with, the harder she's gonna be to tame. When you stop and you interview these P-Hub stars and these OnlyFans models, they all say the same thing. I done been with this many guys, I was touched, this has happened in my life. So you have to understand that by the time they get around to looking sleazy, they're already wore out. There is no reason for you to complain about them. Is it cool to come online and watch videos of people making fun of them? Yes, but actually investing energy into like trying to tell an OnlyFans model that what she's doing is wrong, and sorry, you ain't supposed to be doing that as a man. And any man that's willing to sit up with an OnlyFans model and degrade her, in most cases, is a sucker. That's not a shot at Fresh and Fit or anybody else that's doing it. That's just a shot saying, men, stop worrying about the type of woman that you ain't supposed to be wifing up. These guys are making money. A lot of guys out there complaining about OnlyFans models, you ain't making money making content dissing them. Fresh and Fit and them are making money. The Saint and Sinners are making money. The whatever podcast, they're making money. And We Are Miami, they're making money by doing it. So it's entertainment. Once guys are able to remove the complaining part and understand that that is entertainment, and then you get back to the basics, you'll realize that when you walk outside your house, you probably don't know an OnlyFans model. When you go to the store, you don't see OnlyFans models. You may go to big places like LA, New York, and Miami and see OnlyFans models because that's the nature of the atmosphere of the city. But outside of that, in the rest of the world, not many OnlyFans models are walking around. So the vision of life or your views of life that you have came to a conclusion of really don't exist. So when it's all said and done, I feel like in modern day times, a lot of guys, if you stop complaining and you just start opening your mouth and you already got a job and you're bettering yourself, you'll get the woman that you want. But far as the women, as long as you're walking around with a OnlyFans uniform on, you'll never get the guy you want, and you'll only be a sex tool for other guys. I know society wants us to accept you for being a sex tool, but there's not no point in history where men have ever accepted women like that. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.